out of tune, but hey, there it is. Welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. My name is Scott. Glad you joined us today. Hey, we hit 10,000 subscribers today, and I'm so humbled and overjoyed. Thank you so much. That's a great thing. I want to give you a tour of our gardens over the years. Let's go take a look. Love a good rain. Well, it's a rainy day today. I'm sitting in a wet seat. My dog's bumping the tripod and wanting me to throw the frisbee. There we go. If I can get it. But yeah, we hit 10,000 subscribers today, and that's a good day. I'm so glad you have invested time with us and come to our channel to follow our gardening and learn with us. And we don't always do it right. I want to make sure that I inform my viewers, and I've done so in like the welcome video you see if you're a new subscriber, but we don't always do it right. And sometimes we're we're learning along the way, and we learn a lot from the comments and from your interactions you have with us, and that's vital to us. That's very important. And so I appreciate all the comments. I mean, I learned about a big devastating problem in my garden right now from a commenter, and I'm really grateful for that kind of interaction. So I'd like to walk around my garden with you and give you a tour of what's going on. So yeah, let's kind of see what's going on in the garden. I'll go over here and show you my little work area. It's flooded out from the rain today, but take a look at this. Just a basic cheap little potting bench I made from some cinder blocks and a pallet. And I got my volunteer tomatoes doing quite well right there. I got a nice drink today. And Got muscadine grapes growing along the side of my property. This is the north side of the property. These guys don't like to keep their hands to themselves, and they wrap up with these tendrils, and they can choke each other out. So you got to go in and actually be a vine dresser and tend to the vines. Look at all that fruit that's going to be there next year. Not next year, later this year. That's a lot of fruit. My fig collection's doing great. I've got over 30 varieties, but I tell you what, here was my plan. My plan was to find the varieties I like the best, to put them in the ground like that one way over there, and enjoy them for the rest of my life. You know, I'm 50 years old. I got another good 30 or 40 years on me, they say, unless I get hit by a bus. But I was going to enjoy those. But now, I don't know, man. I got me a nice little potting deck. And so you know what I did? Today when I hit 10,000, I celebrated by buying 3 more varieties of figs. Yeah, 3 more varieties. So it's going to get a little crowded back here. I'm going to build another one of these decks. I'm going to raise it up and level it, and I'm going to build it stronger so that I can actually put a rocking chair in the middle, come out here and play my guitar, enjoy my garden, and this fall I can eat figs over there on my second little deck. Well, let's look over here. I got my my squash growing. Actually, these are zucchinis. These 2 are zucchinis. They were in a video this year of potting zucchinis, and you can see we got some fruit coming in here. We've got a nice little pardon me, nice little female flower there, and lots of buds coming in on both these plants. And we sprayed these this morning with neem oil. I got some spider mites coming in my garden these days, and we got to deal with them. Got my pepper plants. It's a mammoth jalapeno with a fruit on it right there. That little fruit right there is real tempting, but I'm going to see how big a mammoth actually is and let it hang on there and grow. Got my other peppers lined up here. This is my disaster garden. Now this is unusual. If you go back and watch my video on what happened here and why these plants are deformed, stunted, and not really growing very well, you'll see that I put some hay, that hay over there, I put it on this garden, and that hay had been tainted with herbicide. And that herbicide, after a good rain, caused my plants to shrivel up. The new growth was deformed, and the new growth, I mean, look at that. That's not a tomato growth, a healthy tomato growth at all. It's still growing, and I've got buds coming in, so I'm going to leave it. I said I'd leave it a week. It's been a week, but I see fruit coming in, so I'm going to give it 2 weeks, and I'm going to see what happens with these plants. Because if you look over here, I mean, these are huge plants now. They've got blossoms on them, and the blossoms give decent fruit. Well, I'll be happy. So we'll see what happens with these guys. And but they're on short notice. Unfortunately, this was a problem I didn't foresee, and well, it happened, and well, we'll have to live with it. So these guys are the subject of the video my son and I are going to do in a day or two. We're going to build some teepee trellises here and show you how we're going to support these without breaking the bank. Because man, those if you buy a whole lot of these cages, you can break the bank real easy. The potted peppers are just fine. They're putting on fruit now, and we're real happy about that. My perpetual spinach, I'm in the process of taking this out. It did well. It came back over the winter, and I love this stuff, but I got spider mites in there, so I'll have a video soon. You'll be able to see what's going on with those guys. But the spider mites are really killing them off, and though I sprayed, because I don't want to put spider mites in my trash or in my, you know, have them I want them dead. I sprayed for those mites today, and we'll see what happens. We're going to trellis up our cucumbers this coming weekend, or maybe this week. I had to spray for those spider mites in the cucumbers as well. You don't want bugs getting in your cucumbers. They're going to have a hard enough time when the worms show up and all the diseases that happen with cucumbers in our area. I expect powdery mildew, but not before they give us a good harvest. We're going to have net trellises here. These things will be up all the way to the top of these poles and cascading over within a month or two. Down at the end there, I've got a volunteer tomato I potted up in a couple of flower pots down there with flowers in them that are coming up. Just some pollinator helpers. My other bed over here is still got some of that hay on it. This is the subject of my nutgrass video, my nutsedge removal experiment. There's a ton of molasses sugar down in here. There's cardboard underneath that hay, and I'm hoping that that cardboard will help smother the nutgrass and deplete those little tubers down in the soil, and next year we can come in here and not have as much problem with nutsedge. Got my eggplants growing. They're looking great. I mean, look at these eggplants. These are doing superb, and they're real taut and firm. that's going to be good for me. I'm gonna enjoy eggplant. I got to drain these guys out of the water. These are my yellow squash, and these yellow squash I'm going to plug in right there and in some containers. I put in this little bed back here to house my Southern Home grapevine, and I didn't have a place for it. I didn't have a trellis for it. I couldn't build out. I'm out of room basically, but I wanted this Southern Home. I really like the idea of this particular grape. It's a popular grape. It's supposed to be a delicious grape, so I set it to growing up this tree. Muscadines, I've seen them. They're notorious for taking over an entire tree, and well, I wanted to take over this whole tree and give me some fruit. Now, our Meyer lemon tree is putting on these blossoms, and if you've never smelled citrus blossoms, and specifically these Meyer lemon blossoms, man, you're missing out. This is not a big tree. Let me back up. Was that about 10 feet across, about 8 feet tall? Anybody can find room for a citrus tree in their yard. And look at these. We're getting all these fruits already. Now, these fruits won't be ready until the winter, but they come on early, and they're prolific. We had pounds and pounds and pounds of lemons off of this tree just a few months ago. Wonderful trees. All the patio plants are doing well. I've got my basil here. I cut some of it out last night for spaghetti night, and need to thin this a little bit more. Got my parsley there. That is some sort of mint down there. Got my chamomile. My cilantro is doing a lot better. It wanted to bolt right away when we put it in, so I pulled those seed heads, or those flowering shoots out of there. All my figs, they're doing great. Herbs are doing well. Yeah, we're just really well pleased. This is Steve. Meet Steve. This is my son Samuel's stevia plant that he put in. We got a video devoted just to Steve. This was a volunteer tomato, and someone in the comments was asking about how to start a volunteer tomato. Should they do it in water or should they do it in soil? This is a shoot, or a limb, that I clipped off a plant that I was pruning. And you saw me toss this limb over into that area if you watched one of my videos on potting. I think it was a potting tomato video. I don't know, one of my videos. I threw it over there and I said something like, wow, it's really savage to have to do this. Well, I felt bad, so I rescued this little guy and I put him just down in some soil. This wasn't even the soil I put him in at first. At first I put him in a parsley pot just to see if he'd take. Well, he took, and so I gently pulled him up and put him down now into his own pot, and that little dude is going to do just fine. I forgot what variety it is, but I guess we'll find out when it bears fruit. But look at that. That's a free tomato plant. So folks, I really want to encourage you to try something different. If you're just kind of following along the typical raised bed backyard gardening template, so to speak, that's good. I'm glad, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope your garden prospers. And that's all wonderful, but you know, it's so much rewarding. There's so much reward in doing something different, like muscadine grapes in a suburban plot. Who would have thought, you know? Normally I think muscadine grapes, or any kind of grape, I think of you know, homesteaders. People have a lot of land, but I'm growing 4 different kinds of muscadine on my property. I'm gonna have a lot of fruit, enough to do some canning or some jellies, and I'm doing it on a small scale, and you can too. So if there's anything I really want to encourage folks to do, is try something new, is do something different. Grow some fruit, grow some trees, grow some fig trees or something different. It's really worth your time. It's a good practice. Man, 10,000 subscribers. Thanks so much. I'm so humbled. Thank you all for joining us. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Check us out we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we'd be happy to chat with you in the comment section. So leave us a comment. That really encourages us. So yeah, 10,000. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.